Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be sharing these very easy scarf which has a beautiful texture. You can either make it in super bulky yarn like these two, or even make it in worsted weight yarn, and I'll be explaining how to make it in both weights. To make the super bulky version, I used cozy wool from Loops and Threads, which is size 6 super bulky yarn, and a 9mm crochet hook. For the worsted weight version, I used Big Twist Soft from Joanne, and that is a worsted weight size 4 yarn, and with that I used a 6.5mm crochet hook. So gather your supplies and let's get started. To start making your bulky scarf, make a slip knot, chain 13, my finished scarf was 6 inches wide. If you want to make it wider, you can chain any odd number. That is, you can chain 15, 17, 19, 21, like that. Chaining 13 gave me a scarf that was 6 inches wide. So you can chain any odd number. Now to begin row 1, we will be working our first repeat across the 3rd and the 4th chains here. So pull up a loop in the 3rd chain from your hook. This is the first one, 2nd, and this is the 3rd. Pull up a loop in the 3rd chain. Now yarn over. Insert your hook into the next chain and pull up a loop. Now you have 4 loops on your hook. Now yarn over and pull through all the 4 loops to complete your first repeat. Now chain 1 and work your next repeat across the next 2 chains. I call it a single half decrease because it is worked like you're joining a single crochet and a half double crochet stitch together. Now to work our next repeat into the next 2 chains, insert your hook into the next chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain, pull up a loop. Now you have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all the 4 to complete your second repeat. Now chain 1 and work your next repeat across the next 2 chains. Again, pull up a loop in the next chain, yarn over and pull up a loop in the next chain, yarn over and pull through all the 4 loops, chain 1, work your next repeat across the next 2 chains, pull up a loop in the first chain, yarn over, pull up a loop in the next, yarn over, pull through all the 4 loops on your hook, chain 1, work a repeat across the next 2 chains, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop in the next chain, yarn over, pull through all the 4. And now you should have only 1 chain left. So you will keep repeating the same stitch across 2 chains and then make a chain 1 until you have just 1 chain left. So if you made more chains than me to make your scarf wider, you have to keep working the repeat and chain 1 until you have just 1 stitch left, 1 chain left, and into that you will work a single crochet stitch to end the row. So remember that you made a chain 1 after the repeat, and that is when you will go and work a single crochet into the very last chain to complete row 1. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 repeats. For every 2 chains you add to the starting chain, you will get 1 extra repeat. So if you made 15 chains instead of 13, you will get 6 repeats. Now to begin row 2, chain 2, turn, work a repeat across the first single crochet and the next chain 1 space right here. So pull up a loop in the first stitch, which is at the base of your chain 2. Pull up a loop in that stitch. Now yarn over and insert your hook into the chain space right next to it and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through all the 4 loops to complete your first repeat. And it's always followed by a chain 1. So go ahead and chain 1. And now we'll keep working our repeats across the next stitch and the chain 1 space, the next chain 1 space. So to identify your next stitch, you can either look at the top like that, and this is a stitch and this is chain 1. So what I can show you is if you pull apart your work, you will see a tiny bar there, here. So you will insert your hook, pull up a loop here, and then after the bar, you will yarn over and pull up a loop here. So that's how you work. In this space, which is a stitch, and this space, which is chain 1, across those you will work your repeat. And here, if you pull apart again, you can see here and here. If that is confusing you, you can always look at the top and know where to insert your hook. So we have already chained 1 after the first repeat. So pull up a loop in the next stitch. You can look at the top or here, whichever you find easy. Now yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain space, which is here. If you're getting confused, just look at the top and see where the chain is, and then insert your hook under that. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all the 4. Chain 1, pull up a loop in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop in the next chain 1 space, yarn over, pull through all the 4 loops. Keep repeating that until you have 1 repeat left. Chain 1, and now you have just 1 repeat left, so skip that repeat and work a single crochet on top of the beginning chain 2 right here at the corner. So insert your hook into that corner, chain, and work a single crochet to complete row 3. Now go ahead and keep repeating row 3 until your scarf is 76 inches long, or the length you want it to be. Now to make the worsted weight version of the scarf, use the worsted weight yarn and a K 6.5mm crochet hook. You will start with a chain of 21 and follow the exact same pattern that you followed for your chunky scarf. This is how the worsted weight version will look once you finish working the scarf using the same stitch pattern. I went ahead and added tassels to the end. I'll show you how to make and add tassels to the worsted weight scarf. To make your tassels, take a small book and wrap the yarn multiple times around the book. Take your scissors and cut along one edge like that. So you will get multiple strands of the same length. Now to add tassels to your scarf, take 2 strands of the same length, fold it in the middle like that, and pull that middle through a stitch on the scarf like that. And now you have a loop grab all the 4 tails and pull it through the loop and tighten it to attach your tassel. Now take the next 2, fold in the middle, pull the middle through the next stitch. Actually, I've skipped 1 stitch between each tassel. Pull the middle through the stitch. Make that loop big and grab all the yarn tails and pull through the loop. Now tighten the knot at the base. Attach tassels all across the edge like I did, and your scarf is complete. So when you're making the worsted weight version and if you plan to add the tassels, make sure you take the length of the tassel into account. Mine was around 3 inches long, so I will make it 6 inches shorter than I want the final length to be. So keep that in mind while you're working your worsted weight version, or if you're planning to add tassels to the end of your scarf. If you enjoyed making the scarf with a lovely texture, don't forget to like, subscribe, and press that bell icon to receive notifications when I post new patterns. Thank you so much for watching.